This was a transformative place for me. This is where I grew up really as a queer man. My name is Rob Daroff. I'm a psychiatrist. I'm also in the United States Army Reserve Medical Corps, where I'm a lieutenant colonel and a psychiatrist for the Army. Well, the biggest thing that happened to me here was coming out. Even though I came out when I was 14, I very quickly went back in the closet. And part of the closeted mindset is you have a reason to hide. There's something wrong with you. You're defective, and to some degree, I believe that because that was the world that I grew up in. It wasn't until I lived in Ohio that I started to think differently. I started to learn that I could challenge those ideologies that are just wrong. But to have perspective for the first time that there's nothing wrong with me, that I'm a beautiful, loving being, and I deserve happiness just like everybody else does. I took a class called the Anthropology of Sexual Deviance, which is what they kind of had to call it at the time, I guess. And the teacher was Charlie Callender, who was this big teddy bear of a man who came out himself when he was in his 60s. Charlie's class changed my life. My relationship with him changed my life. I was on the ground level when he and a few other people started the first serious LGBT newspaper for the greater Cleveland area, the Gay People's Chronicle. He took me under his wing, my boyfriend and me at the time, and Charlie, working late into the nights. He was a fiery man. He had fire in his belly, maybe from all those years of being closeted. He respected me. I still felt like kind of a kid. I mean, he was this big professor. He loved you, he valued you, and what a gift for me to have that. I went from being completely in the closet to coming out with a bang. I became the president of the Lesbian Gay Student Union. I became the chair of the Minority Interest Committee of the student government. I got involved with putting on the big queer conference every year, and I started volunteering at the gay hotline. And yeah, I got calls from students. One student called me a few times, and it felt like it was really meaningful. And he, after maybe 3 calls, he said, I would feel comfortable now meeting you if you don't mind in a public space. And I said, sure, we'll meet in Twing, the student union, and we can just have a conversation. And I waited. Okay, I guess he's not coming. This would have been a big step for the person. And so I thought nothing of it. And then the next week when I was back at the hotline, I got a call from him. And I said, oh, I'm sorry, I missed you. And he said, yeah, I couldn't make it. And then all of a sudden, his voice changed. He had this strong accent all the times we had called, and all of a sudden, he had no accent. And he said, you fucking faggot, I know what you look like now, and I'm gonna find you. I hung up the phone because I was totally shocked. I mean, I played football. I was not a small person, but that was scary. And I was walking around campus with my backpack, but in my backpack was a small, club that I had to defend myself. I was looking behind my back a lot. That was not cool. That was really not cool. There were others too who would threaten me, but it was too late. I wasn't going back in the closet. That's basically what they wanted to do. They wanted to shut me up. The HIV epidemic was already getting out of control, and I was just beginning medical school. Somebody asked me if I was interested in getting trained to be the post-test counselor. So I counseled hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. I have an untapped well of sadness that goes very, very deep. So many friends, so many acquaintances. Like, we lost a whole generation. I played volleyball every week, and one of my best buddies, I just see him, getting thinner and thinner and more anxious, and he was just gone. And another buddy who was like a construction worker, this big, beautiful man, I saw him at a club, and he came over to say hi to me, and he just fell on the floor and was so apologetic. He wasn't drunk, he was sick. I never saw him again. I got lucky somehow. That's all I can say, is I got lucky that I'm still here today. I very easily might not have been. I can't even imagine how much better the world would be now if those people had had a chance. I was given that chance. I was spared. I feel like I have a duty. I have a duty to live and continue to give back and continue to serve. I know that it's important to show up and speak out, because there's a lot of other people who will prefer to speak for you. I'd say to my younger self, hang in there, kid. Hang in there, Robbie. It really is going to be okay. You're going to find a way through this. You're going to move to the Mecca. You're going to move to San Francisco, and you're not going to have to be the guy burning the paths. You're going to just be able to be a human being